Welcome to the Complete Fitness Podcast with Core for Complete Fitness. Your episode is starting in 3, 2, 1.
Greetings, peoples. Happy December 27th. Hope you guys had a great Christmas. Hope you guys are going to have a great New Year's. And like always, if you could please, before we dive into everything this afternoon, if you could subscribe to the podcast, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or Audible, pretty much every single major streaming platform that you can host a podcast on, we are on there. And there's a little subscribe button. If you could press it, that way once we get an upload for our podcast, you'll get alerted right away. So you don't have to sift through all the episodes. You'll get updated in real time. It'll send you a little notification to your phone saying, hey, there's a fresh one waiting for you. And then all you have to do is push play, and it'll help us grow this thing through you guys. So that would be greatly appreciated. The second thing, guys, if you know there's anybody that this podcast could help, whether it's friends, whether it's family, you can text it to them. You can copy the link. You can share it on your social media. And again, guys, it'll just help us keep growing this thing so we can keep cranking out these episodes for you every single week. Now, today, I have a guest. My daughter, Viviana, is here. If you are watching on YouTube and you see the little person on the screen, that is her. We'll give a little segment to her in a moment. But this week, guys, as we do for most weeks leading into a holiday, is a big one. I've mentioned it to you guys here before that New Year's resolutions have a 92% failure rate, which means people set these grandiose ideas, which, isn't the worst thing in the world, right? You want to kind of set your bar high where you want to shoot for. But what happens is over the course of weeks or over the course of months, that idea or that big lofty goal that you had, the real world comes into play and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and less attainable and less attainable. And then before you know it, it's the middle of February or March, and that plan that you had completely kind of falls apart. And the main reason for this, guys, is right now, everybody's schedule is funky. Think of it like a big, long weekend where we have some slow time at work. If you're working at all, maybe you are at work, but your schedule's all over the place. This kind of week in between Christmas and New Year's is kind of just this weird ebb and flow. And the other thing, guys, kids are out of school. So this break in schedule, this break in free time, we start going, okay, well, I can totally on Monday go, let's go cut out carbs or let's cut out sugar, or I'm going to hit the gym for an hour every single day because I got all this time right now and I can totally do this. I can start this tomorrow if I really wanted to. And what happens is January 2nd comes, or the first or second week in January comes, and you're faced back with reality. And you go, okay, now I got my job that is coming at me 100 miles an hour. You're probably backed up on emails. You're getting the kids back ready for school, packing their lunches, sending them off. They have homework again. And that big idea that you had that you wanted to start all of a sudden goes completely null and void. Where you go, there's no way I can do this. There's no way that I can maintain this. And you maybe start it for a day or 2 days or 3 days, but over time, it begins to dissipate, and then you're stuck right back where you were. So when you're doing this, I'm not saying don't set any New Year's resolutions. I'm not saying don't set any goals, but be realistic with yourself and look right now at what your world looks like when you probably don't have downtime and you don't have work, and use this time to your advantage. What you don't want to do is start on the 2nd and go, oh my gosh, I didn't prep anything. I didn't prepare anything. I got to go shopping still. I got to go to the gym still. My gym clothes aren't ready. When am I going to get this workout in? And then it begins to fall apart, right? But we have this 2 weeks where you can game plan, even though it seems like a small amount of time in these next few weeks, your next 3, 4, 5, 6 months outward. So now is the time to look at that picture and go, okay, realistically, when I go to work, when am I going to be able to squeeze in a workout? Am I going to bring my lunch to work instead of going through the drive-thru every day? What time am I going to go to sleep? What time am I going to wake up? When am I going to get the kids ready? And plan out your perfect day. People tend to think that being healthy and getting in shape just kind of falls in your lap. And you either have this free time to make yourself healthy or you don't. And the big news flash, guys, every single one of us, whether you're listening or you're watching, is probably busy as hell. You got stuff going on. You got kids. You got work. You got a spouse. You got obligations. You got things to do around the house. Everything's going a million miles an hour. And if you don't pencil in that time to actually get your workout in, odds are that time will be filled with something else. Maybe it's watching TV. Maybe it is doing some stuff around the house. Maybe it's work related. But think of it this way, guys. If you had an emergency meeting or your kids had an emergency at school, God forbid, you would make it every way, shape, or form to be either at the school or at the meeting, right? You would go, okay, I got to get this in. It's an emergency. I got to get this done. Somebody needs me. We do that for everybody else, usually except for ourselves. And the only time that we usually want to do that for ourselves is we're in such a place of pain where we can't go back 20, 30, 40 years sometimes. So it's important to start now while you're healthy enough to do it, while you have the opportunity to do it. So that way you can set yourself up for success years and years and decades down the line. So going into New Year's, guys, right now, while you have the time, don't be the person that makes a New Year's resolution when you're half in the bag on New Year's Eve or the first or the second, when you feel like crap and you're lethargic and you're like, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to get my shit together. Because what happens is there's not a pain point where you're going, I just want to do this. I'm in reaction mode. I ate too much. I drank too much. I feel lousy. I feel pissed off at myself. So I'm going to start this tomorrow. And without that pain point or that why or your reason to do something, it's just going to vanish and dissipate like it probably has every single year. So that thing that's going to anchor you in, start the new year when you go, okay, when I have a busy day at work, when it's a Wednesday and it's snowy and rainy and 20 degrees, or when I have the opportunity, somebody invites me out, for happy hour after work, that thing where you go, I said I was going to do this on the first, and I'm going to stick actually to this, is the thing that's going to propel you forward. So when the going gets tough, you're not going to fall into that same thing that you did in 2023. And your why, guys, or your reason why you're going to become healthy or whatever your goal is. Maybe you want to lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, or you want to get a six pack or fit back into your jeans, whatever that thing is, put it everywhere. Put it in your car, put it on your fridge, make it your screensaver on your phone. So that way it's subliminally, you're being shown that image or that saying or that thing every time that you go to these frequent spots inside your house. And before you know it, that thing or that why that pulls you forward and draws you to success, you can't help but see it everywhere. You can write it on your mirror inside your bathroom if you want. But if you tell yourself it just once on the first, odds are weeks are going to go by, days are going to go by, months are going to go by, and that thing that you had, you're going to forget about it. You're going to go, okay, I completely forgot what the reason I wanted to do this is. So when you can set whatever that why is or that anchor is on the first, put it in frequent spots where you're going to be able to see it. It's going to gel with you. It's going to become your personal mantra. That's going to help you stick with it long term, guys. And again, be realistic with yourself. Set a goal not just for what I want to do in the first 3 months, which is what people usually do, and then it kind of fades away and dissipates like fog. But you want to set a goal of where you want to be at the end of 2024. Not just how do I get this weight off as quickly as possible and then yo-yo right back in the spring and summer, but how do I keep this off? How do I make this full year? So where I am right now, 365 days from now, how am I the person still that is there, right? And that should be anybody's goal with getting healthy. You don't want to just do things for a week, for a month. Odds are if you're putting yourself through workouts and eating healthy, you want that body to be there forever. That's the whole reason you do it, not to be healthy for 3 weeks, but to be healthy for 3 years or 3 decades. So you have to be realistic. If it means week 1, when you know work is going to be chaotic, then you have to make sure this is something that you can apply going forward. And again, if it means week 1 in January, you're going to hit 3 workouts on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it means you're going to pack your lunch all week instead of going through the drive-thru, that's a great jump-off point. Instead of saying, I'm going to go no sugar, no carbs, 2 hours in the gym, pick up the kids, go to work, finish up my day, you're just going to kind of wring yourself out to dry. And odds are you're not going to be able to sustain that tempo or sustain that effort over the course of 365 days. But you can build on those stepping stones, right? So if week 1, like I was saying, you get 3 workouts in, you bring your lunch all during the week, maybe the week after, 2 weeks after, you go, okay, I'm going to do 3 workouts a week and I'm going to go for a walk on a Saturday or Sunday. Cool. Once you have that done, maybe it's okay. Instead of going out to dinner, 3-4 times a week, we're going to have just Friday be the night that we go out to dinner. We're going to eat at home the rest of the time. And you can see how this world is kind of evolving organically, right? Instead of you kind of cramming all this stuff like the square peg round hole analogy and trying to make it fit, you're letting this all evolve and starting off little. And then over the course of a year or 10 months, 12 months, however long it takes you, you're evolving into this big, beautiful lifestyle that you can kind of keep on track and hold with you forever. But there's a reason why there was a giant failure rate, guys. It's because people kind of just throw crap at the wall come New Year's and they just see what sticks. I want to lose 20 pounds. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I guess I'll work out for this long. I guess I'll do this. And then it kind of falls apart. Stop. You're making the camera wiggle. But you want to make sure this is something that you can actually stick with and adhere with. And the time to start thinking about that is right now, guys. I know it's New Year's is less than a week away, but start planning what you're going to put inside your fridge. Get all the Christmas crap out of your fridge. Get the cookies out of there. Get all the sweets out of there. Set yourself up for success so that way you aren't trying to scramble when January hits and you're completely stressing yourself out. I'm not saying, again, don't shoot for the stars. If you got to get 100 pounds off of you, cool. But instead of saying, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in this grueling 3-month fashion, go every single week over the course of, let's say, a year. I'm going to try to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week and just go boom, boom, boom. It's very easy to lose 1 pound 100 times than to lose 100 pounds trying to do it all at once and not giving yourself a break. So set yourself up for success. Set yourself up for a win. Remember, you're going to have trials and tribulations and roadblocks and things that get in the way. But the key to doing it, guys, is making sure that you can stick with something long-term and not to become a statistic. One of the biggest, hardest things probably in the fitness industry is we'll see, just with how it always is, January, this big influx of people. And then we'll have people that fall off or they leave or they make excuses and they do X, Y, and Z. And then they'll come back a year later or a year and a half later and they gained everything back plus a couple extra pounds. And you want to just kind of shake these people sometimes and said, if you just would have stuck with this, you would have completely been a completely different person from where you are now. And now we have to start back at the beginning, plus another 10 to 15 pounds on top of that. So don't be the statistic, guys. You can do it. You have the power to do it. It's just a matter of being realistic with yourself and set your sights not for a 90-day period, but where you want to be a year from now. And you can still break it up into 90-day segments, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4, but don't try to do it all in the first quarter. Allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to adapt, and that's how you make change that's permanent. Now, it's your turn. What are your New Year's goals? Do you have any New Year's resolutions? A New Year's resolution is something that you want to do in the New Year's. Some people want to lose weight. Some people want to get stronger. Some people want to be a good runner. What is yours?
To be strong.
To be strong? That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I'm already strong.
You're strong.
I'm already strong.
You can get even stronger, though. You want to be really strong? Like, how strong do you want to be?
700.
700 strong? To be able to push a car? That's a good one. I think you can do it. We got to do gymnastics. We got to do our workups, huh?
I'm good at gymnastics. I can do cartwheel, somersault.
What else do you want to do? Think.
Be a superhero.
Be a superhero? That's another good one. I think you can do it. Do you?
And help other people in need.
That's a very good one. That's maybe the best one. So that'll be our goal for the new year. Help other people get strong. Be a good runner.
Help everyone that's poor.
That's a good one too, and help the poor. I think that's great. So we'll write it down, huh? Why don't you go write it down since you know how to spell now on a piece of paper. And that will be my daughter's resolution. But that's all, peoples. Go into the year, take some time, rest, get your mind right, get your body right. Don't use the break as, a opportunity to cease all activity, right? I made a post today that it's not what we do every once in a while that gets us in trouble. It's what we do frequently. So don't feel bad if on Christmas you had a couple Christmas cookies or you ate something out of your diet. It's what we do over and over and over again. Remember, the holidays are a single day. They're not a week. They're not 2 weeks. But this stretch right here between Christmas going into New Year's, people tend to just throw in the towel on everything. And then instead of having just maybe a pound or two to get off, you're going to have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds. You don't want to be the person scrambling on January 1st going, oh my God, I let myself down. Be the person that has momentum in their sales, that has all the energy, that's able to push themselves forward. And that's how you make lasting change. But that is all, peoples. Last one before 2024 kicks in. Get your mind right this week. Set those goals. Be realistic with yourself, and that's ultimately how you improve on everything. Now, going into the new year, if you need anything in terms of supplements, we got you covered. If you need some protein because you're not getting enough protein, if you need a Kickstarter, we got a fat burner on there. If you need some pre-workouts, some BCAAs, we have everything for you on core4supplements.com. If you go there and you use the code word podcast in the checkout, you'll save 10% off your entire order. And the best of all, you'll save free shipping when you spend over $100. So if you want to get a bunch of stuff for the year, guys, you're wiggling the screen. Stop. Right over there. If you want to buy a bunch of stuff and just be good for a month or so and save on shipping, we will ship it right to your house, 100% free if it's over $100. So stock up, guys. If you need anything, if you order now, it'll probably be sitting on your doorstep come January 2nd. But that is all, peoples. Make it a great year. Make it a great rest of the week. Stay focused this week. I know schedules are funky, but this is the time. You don't want to be all fluffy come January 1st. You want to be rocking and rolling, feeling good, looking good. Then all you have to do is, again, keep that wind in your sails to keep on rolling. But love you guys. Thank you for listening. Make it a great year. Make it a great week. And we will see you in 2024. Bye-bye.